Matt, thank you. Well, tomorrow, as you know, marks 20 years since the 9/11 terror attacks. An Orlando firefighter survived 9/11. At the time, he was working as a paramedic for the fire department in New York City. Joining us right now is Felix Marquez. He is an Orlando firefighter paramedic, and he is also the president of Orlando Medical Institute. You wear many hats, my friend. Great to see you.
Likewise, great to see you as well.
Felix, I know we've told your story on Good Day Orlando in years past, but to remind our viewers, take me back to September 11th, 2001. You had just gotten off shift that day. You were working in New York City, downtown. What happened?
Yeah, I was actually working in the Bronx, getting off shift that morning of September 11th. I worked the overnight shift for New York City Fire Department on the EMS side. Well, when the World Trade Center was hit with the plane, we were actually dispatched down there. Initially, it was we got a report as a helicopter hit the World Trade Center. So, like an MCI like that, they pull units from all boroughs, so we don't tax that one town, that one area, because obviously they still have to run regular calls as well. So they normally do that. So I was one that was dispatched out there, headed down there. Make a long story short, pretty much. I used to teach at LaGuardia Community College for many years, so my routine was the FDR to the 59th Street Bridge to go right there to Long Island City, which is in Queens, LaGuardia Community College. So it was routine for me. It's almost like it was autopilot all the time. I taught there so much. But I was supposed to go to the west side, but all the commotion on the radio, and then you hear on our dispatch radio, and all the commotion on the radio. We listening, I just automatically went to east side FDR versus we were supposed to go to the west side. When I realized that I was already on the FDR, so I figured I'll just go all the way to the end, whip back around, and head to West and Bessie where we were supposed to stage. Thank God that didn't happen. Thank God I went down the east side, because we never made it to West and Bessie. It was so many people, so much traffic. So we ended up cutting through Maiden Lane to Liberty, which puts us right on the southwest side of the World Trade Centers, and that's when obviously the towers started coming down, and we tried to make our way out of there, and that's when the whole chaos happened.
Yeah, Felix, you ended up being trapped inside of a building for about 20 hours, and you talked a little bit about what that was like for you, not knowing if you would live or die. And then later, of course, finding out that so many of your friends did not make it out. What is that like now, 20 years later, when you look back at those moments? I imagine it doesn't feel for you like 20 years have gone by.
Not at all, not at all. Looking at, retrospect, 20 years, I can't believe that 20 years has passed when a lot of this, just the event just doesn't really leave your mind. It stays in your mind. Yeah, we kind of put it to the back of the mind now, and then as we get closer to this time of year, it comes to the forefront. And then obviously every May it comes to my mind as well, because I still fly to New York I have to report to FDNY medical headquarters for they evaluate us, all the people who were trapped or down there during 9/11. They monitor our health every year, so we have to do an annual with them. So those are the two major times that it comes to me. But to think 20 years, as I mentioned earlier, I have my daughters, and my middle one was 4 months old when this happened. So she didn't have no idea, to now 20 years later, she's 20 years old. And for many years, talking about this and going through it, she started learning about September 11th, what took place. She was like, oh my God, there could have been an opportunity where I would have never met my dad or know my dad. So that used to impact her. I said, I don't think about that. I'm here now, but we have a very good and close relationship. So I think of that a lot too. Like, wow, what would my kid's life be like if I wasn't here?
I imagine, especially with everything that's been going on with Afghanistan over the last couple of weeks, you look at that situation over there and wonder, are we going to be setting ourselves up for the possibility of something like this happening again? What has been going through your mind over these last few weeks?
That's such a huge worry, right? It's a huge worry that what we did there for 20 years, the work we put into that place, to help set some regulation, fight terror for 20 years. It almost, totally in my opinion, it feels like it just went to the wayside now. All those years, all those people who sacrificed their lives out there just went to the wayside. It counts for nothing because it seems like we're back to square one in weeks. And that's a big worry is, will we have another September 11th? And I hope we don't, but that's something I'm sure every American is thinking about today.
Well, my friend, we are so incredibly grateful for your service to our community here in Orlando, all the things you do. You are truly an asset to the city. Thank you so much for sharing your 9/11 story with us, Felix, and we're glad you're here.
Well, thank you, Amy. Appreciate it. Thank you for having me on.